All right, all right, all right. Okay, guys, welcome on tonight's call. I uh I know you guys are thinking, not this guy again. Oh my goodness, been two or three times in a row. It feels like all of January you get Justin, but the good news is I'm not the star of the show tonight. But I do get the pleasure of introducing someone. And for this call tonight, as I see the numbers just racking up faster and faster and faster, there's a couple things I want you to know. Tonight, you're going to learn what's possible with We Do Transformations. We all know what's possible in Herbalife. We all know what's possible. We all know what's possible in old Herbalife. We all know what's possible um, in theory. But what's possible in application right now in the marketplace with We Do Transformations? You know, my grandfather used to say the proof's in the pudding, and I never even knew what that meant. And I'm not sure that I know what it means now, but I do know this. If you're doing it and you're proving it, then there's value in it. And so tonight, what I'm going to introduce to you guys and let her take over with her story. She's going to tell you where she comes from, what she did before, her failures, her successes, and how We Do Transformations changed her life and her business. And guys, I'm going to give you a little preview so that you know who you're listening to and what you're listening to. Tonight, I'm going to give you someone that came into the business at zero and in 6 months is fully qualified. That means in her fourth month, she hit her first cut of get, 6 month fully qualified. She's been in the business 9 months. She has 87 distributors. Her main method of operation is We Do Transformations. She fell in love with it on day one, but I'm going to let her share all of that. And I want you guys to understand of her 87 distributors, she's had 38 of them get to qualified producer, 51 of them to senior consultant. And like the rest of us, she's had several that didn't do much, and 12 supervisors. Now, don't get confused. When you've got 38 qualified producers in the last 9 months, how many supervisors do you think are coming? I need you guys to understand, lock in, pay attention, because it doesn't matter what you do in this business, what your method is, what your avenue of approach is every day. She does almost every approach there is. She taught me to not be a one trick pony. She taught me that just because I'm great at one thing, that it doesn't mean everybody's going to be great at that one thing. And the moment that I open up the door and start giving everybody the avenues to be great in those avenues, then business will flourish even more. And then she taught me on paper, and then she applied it right in front of my eyes. So I cannot wait for you guys. Brand new Get team, soon to be Get 2.5, Abigail Henderson.
Awesome. Thank you so much for literally, Octavio, for even considering me to be on this call. It is truly an honor. Um, y'all, listen, this is all new to me. And I'm going to go into my story because I literally was in Herbalife prior for a long time. I was a 9-year-old world team member. And I just want to get into the things that I lacked in, the things that I failed at. And then I'm going to lead you guys into what I'm doing right now and what you can apply to your business tonight into tomorrow to make it that much better, to take that next step into in your business, whatever that looks like for you. So with that being said, my story starts in 2012. I joined the company because I needed to lose weight. When I say I needed to lose weight, I was literally 22. I worked at a place called Twin Peaks. I had to look a certain way. And I've always had hard work ethic. I've always done amazing at whatever I did, but I did not have a good diet. I did college athletics. And then after I left college, I proceeded to eat the same way that I always did, which was not good. And so I gained all this weight. And my boss, he came to me, he's like, listen, I love what you're doing. All these customers love you, but you don't fit the image of our business. And I didn't take him that serious the first time. He gave me the fat talk the second time, and I had to take it serious. So what had happened was my best friend at the time was going to this nutrition club. And I was like, what is this? So I went there. I tried a shake. I hated it. It was a mint chocolate chip. The tea was horrible, but I believe so much in trying something, regardless of what I knew about it, to get the results. I'm saying this because I want you to take a step back and look at it from the perspective of your new client that's in front of you. It's super important that we find what they love, because not everyone's like me and is just going to do it, right? So I'm taking literally this entire business a second go around from my personal experience in this company. Um, Fast forward it down the road, I was still bartending. I was married with a baby, right? And my sponsor at the time, let me just say, 4 years in the business at this time, I did not do the business, so there was no preferred membership. I just consumed the products. I was bartending, and my sponsor at the time saw me and he's like, "Hey, haven't seen you in a while. You're still bartending, I see." And I was like, in my mind, a 20-year-old bartender still, but I was 26. And he was like, "Are you going to do this forever? You've had a baby, you're married. I mean, it's been like 5 years. What's going on?" And I was like, "No, I'm not going to do this forever." And he was like, "Well, what's your plan?" And I did not have a plan. And it dawned on me in that moment, like, I'm getting older. I'm almost 30. I don't want to do this forever. So that's when I decided to look at the business opportunity. And that's when I fell in love even further, because realized 4 years using the products, now I get a bigger vision of what the company actually has to offer. And so I went to an event and I fell in love with the company. And when I say I fell in love, like, I did not care what it took for me to actually grow in this business. So I literally tried everything. I did nutrition clubs. I did fit camps. Not only did I do fit camps, but I did an all women's fit camp that had about 100+ women at it. I did challenges. I love the idea of challenges because it gave not only some kind of structure, but something for, the clients to work towards. But I didn't have the system for growth in the marketing plan. And I'm not even playing you, like, literally the entire time in the company, like, I always searched for something that would teach me how to teach people to make money, because I didn't know how. My sponsor told me to just go talk to people. And so what I did instead was put myself in a nutrition club, learn to make a sale, put myself into the events, and then maybe one day I'll run across somebody who knows how to teach me how to do the marketing plan, because we all go to events, right? We all know the steps of the marketing plan, but do you actually know how to teach someone how to do it? That's what I lacked in. Let's fast forward it to 2020, 2021. I owned a nutrition club during COVID. I loved it because the business model allowed me to still have a job, right? Because we were essential. And the crazy thing about it was I had a fallout with my sponsor. And a couple months after the fallout, she had reached out to me and she's like, "Hey, I have this nutrition club. It's in my downline and I want to keep it in my downline. Do you want to, try this again?" And I was like, "You know what? I really do miss the nutrition club. I love the connection. I love people. I love all the things, right?" And then I received a phone call from an individual who was another President's Team organization. He reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, I know you're going to do this nutrition club. Are you capable of doing it full time? It's 30 minutes from you. I know you have a kid. What are your thoughts on, partnering up with some of my downline and running it together?" And I was like, "Okay, he's right. Maybe I should do this." And, outside of the world of everything, I worked with sidelines outside of my organization, and I did it with success. We did everything together. Literally, we ran business perfect. And the crazy thing about it is, because of me putting myself in that position, it opened up other doors to meeting an individual at the time. He was moving faster than anyone else in the company. He was doing things unheard of. And on top of that, he had a system. And I was like, I need to go to that event. Whatever I do to go to this event, I have to go there, because I was looking for a system. I was telling Jared for weeks, we have to develop a system, but I don't know how to do that. So he asked Chris and Alyssa, they were the President's Team upline, and they said, absolutely, she can come. So that day, I walked into a building, didn't know this person, and this person taught rolling threes. His name's Justin Wilson. And after he had the system laid out, I took notes. I was ready to go. That moment, I walked up to him. I said, "Hey, you don't know me, but you're literally going to change the face of Herbalife with this system," because I didn't know there was any other system, and I thought he created the work and everything. Little do we know, Mark Hughes developed the company that way. But he's a genius, and he taught me something amazing. Um, and I'll never forget that moment, honestly, because it changed my life. But life happens. I lost my husband in 2020. Not only that, during the course of part of my business, we were actually going through divorce. So if you can imagine being like going through a divorce and then having to split time with your child and then trying to run a business that is to grow and develop people, it was really hard on me. And then I had a falling out again with my sponsor, and I made a decision that was best for me. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my downline. I didn't tell a soul except for my business partner at the time. I sold my nutrition club for less than what I paid for, and I resigned from the company in June. No, it was July 2nd of 2021. And in the course of 3 years, because I was out of the company for 3 years, okay? And in the course of that, I tried another network marketing company because I was like, you know what? Like everything has to be the same because it's not. I did Arbonne. It's nothing comparable to what we do. I tried banking. I tried all these different things. And I quickly realized like nothing compares to the feeling that I get doing this business. And I just want to pause for a second because, in the course of those years from 2012 to 2021, I wouldn't change anything that happened. Not a thing. And the reason for that is because who I am developed as a person right now, like the things that I learned on the journey and on the road right now, like the things that I still remember. I learned about the company because I applied myself. I tried everything, right? I learned about the doctors that I still retained and can share with everybody. I learned about the products. I know so much about the products. It's insane. But all of that stuff would have not happened if I didn't go through the things that I went through. I also learned what to do and what not to do. What kind of coach do I want to be? What do I want to provide for my distributors and my preferred members and my clients? I learned all of this wealth because it is a wealth of knowledge that I would have never got if I didn't experience the things that I did. Also, though, not everyone gets a second chance. Not everyone is willing to give you a second chance. I just decided if I'm going to do this Herbalife thing again, I want to make sure that I have the right coach and the right systems and I have the right leadership. And I had that. I found that. So, fast forward at 3 years later, I actually moved across the state of Oklahoma. It was a huge leap of faith. And when I say leap of faith, it was a God thing. I had prayed about it. There are some things that happened with my in-laws that kind of made me hesitant to actually do it. But I moved to Owasso, Oklahoma to be closer to my in-laws for the sake of my daughter because her father passed away, right? And I did it with no idea of what I wanted to do for a career. But I did know that there was this guy who lived in my area, and it was Justin. And, Justin, what he taught me, I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this with him because of what he taught me before I left. And so I moved to a town with no network. So for those who complain, I've outdone my network. I have no network. I've been there. And 9 months ago, I've been there. I had no network. You heard my stats. I have almost 100 downline in 9 months. There's no excuse. I did that with no network. How did I do that? So I worked out of Justin's Nutrition Club. And the funny thing is, when he taught me the rolling threes, I was like, hey, your system's great. But it'd be even greater if it was with a challenge. Because my idea of a challenge, recruiting challenges teach people repetition. It teaches your distributors how to develop clients with goals. I was like, the rolling threes is perfect. But he's like, no, challenges don't work. And I'm like, are you serious right now? They totally work. They worked in my mind because all I knew how to do was have clients. I didn't know how to have coaches. And in his mind, he's like, there's no system with that. That don't work. That is not going to grow you in the marketplace. And so, when I came back, he's like, "You'll never believe this." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I have a challenge now." And I'm like, "No, you do not." And he did. And I instantly fell in love with We Do Transformations. And I don't say this lightheartedly. Like, I'm all in with We Do Transformations. And I am living proof that it works. I'm not even playing, you guys. I cannot wait to share what I'm doing and what you guys can apply as well. So, no network, okay? No network at all. So, what do I have to do to create the network? I'm in a nutrition club. The only way that we can promote the business through social media and face to face. Well, I'm stuck in a nutrition club. So, what do? I use Justin's 70 days to $700 to build up the nutrition club. That brings in people, right? And I'm instantly flyer, We Do Transformation flyer on the bar top. And I'm instantly talking about We Do Transformations from the bar top. Not only that, I'm following local businesses. I'm following local fitness groups or people that are within the area because I have to connect. Um, on top of that, I'm donating gift cards to my nutrition club. I can specifically remember an event that I donated these clubs that drove people into my nutrition club. I built connections with people that I'm still working on being in my business. It's crazy though, because she's actually talking about joining my business today, the same person. Imagine 9 months ago, I planted something and it's flourishing right now. And I also set up booths. I would do whatever it took to set up a place where I can network with people. It doesn't matter what it is. People need nutrition. Everyone needs nutrition. Everyone needs to make extra money. So there's no excuse. You guys can do any of that. um, I really, really decided when I got back into business that We Do Transformations was going to be the foundation of everything that I do. It didn't matter what I did, it was going to lead back to We Do Transformations. One of my favorite things about We Do Transformations, because of my past, like I can sell anything, like I can sell whatever. My mission though was to not just sell something, but to teach people how to sell something. And the great thing about We Do Transformations, it teaches distributors to launch with clients. It teaches distributors not only to launch with clients, but it gives them a foundation that they can follow when they're not with their other distributor. It's literally the assistant coach that your distributor needs to have success with their clients. It gives you so much. It even gives you the verbiage, the outline on what to say. I mean, and then you just modify it to whoever's in front of you, you know? It builds retention. It builds retention with your clients as preferred members, but also builds retention for your distributors the same way that it does for you. Um, I literally loved challenges because it gave clients something to work with. But I love We Do Transformations because it doesn't just give your clients something to work with, it gives your distributors something better to work with. Because this is a duplication business. And if you're not duplicating, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're going to get frustrated. I know because I was that 9 years at World Team, frustrated. I didn't have a system. You guys have one of the best systems on the planet, if not the best system. We Do Transformations is perfect for the new distributor because it's a step-by-step launching pad to get them to QP. If you guys don't know anything about QP, it's qualified producer, success builder. That's when they're qualified for a team. So utilizing your new distributors, launching them to QP, getting them a team before the next challenge is huge. This is how you gain momentum quickly. And this is what I'm doing. Every single person who I bring into the business is going into We Do Transformation some way, somehow, however that is. I'll get to that. So my main focus is We Do Transformations, growing distributors. My main focus is not being a top 100 coach. If it happens, it happens. But I want to grow to president's team. That is my mission right now. My mission is not only to get me to where I want to be, but to get my coaches money in their pocket, showing them this business works, and utilizing We Do Transformations to do that. So crazy thing, buy extravaganza. Was that 3 months in my business? I was fully qualified Premier League. I've been to extravaganza a couple times, and I've never been on the floor. I've never been on stage, none of that. So my first time back, going to my first event, I get to walk the stage for Premier League, which, I mean, if that's not motivating you guys, to be a top recruiter is my goal. It should be all of your goals. It's literally what moves you. So that was huge for me. That was huge impact for me. Going to Amplify, I went fully qualified Get Team. And I finally got to go on stage and tell 1 minute of my story. And Justin tells me there was a mic drop, but I don't know. I was on cloud nine. I was just in my space that I wanted to be in for so long. And you guys hear 6 months to Get Team. For me, that was a decade to Get Team. You know what I mean? Like, I worked my whole life, it felt like my whole adult life, to finally have that one moment on stage, and I got it. So I'm literally a testimony that when you have the right systems, you guys can do this business. And not only can you do this business, but you can teach other people to do it as well. I came from a place and now I'm in a new place with a new system. I had no systems. Now I have systems. If I don't know, you guys, I don't know what else to tell you. If you're not all in, go all in. Go all in this year and see what happens. So after, Amplify Extravaganza, I became refocused, bigger vision, because Get Team wasn't the end all be all for me. President's Team is not the end all be all for me, but that's my next goal. So how am I going to do that? I was focused on finding those who fit into my vision, right? That's my responsibility. That is your responsibility. And me tying them into We Do Transformations was my mission. You guys, we are on all continents but Antarctica. If that's not huge vision, I don't know what else to tell you. I have family in England. And what's crazy is like I'm barely tiptoeing right now. And my vision is huge. But we're not going to go there. I'm not going to go there right now. Okay. So I truly believe that it doesn't matter what method you do in this business. It all ties back into We Do. Every single method does. It doesn't matter what it is. And I'm going to explain a little bit. So you guys all know about Shape Up Miami. Let me just tell you about my vision. I want to do Shape Up Tulsa. And I have the pieces right now in Tulsa that's going to be able to launch Shape Up Tulsa. But I also want to do Shape Up Fort Worth and Shape Up Memphis. I know these ones not really been talked about, but I have the pieces, the building blocks in Fort Worth right now that we're going to be able to launch something great in Fort Worth. I'm working on a guy who used to be in the NFL. He's out of Memphis. He used to be here in Oklahoma. I reached out to him utilizing the Jorge video. He watched the Jorge video. He's like, man, I want to be a part of this. And I used the scripts from We Do Connect, and it worked. It's not going to work with everybody, but if you're willing to put yourself out there, you might be able to recruit a former NFL football player and launch Shape Up Memphis. Anything's possible. You just got to be willing to take the steps, utilize the tools, be consistent. And I mean, if you get lost, you don't know where to go, get back into the app. Get back to what we're taught, the fundamentals, the basics of We Do Transformations. Get some extra challengers. Talk to someone about being a coach. So just imagine if everything you do ties into We Do. Imagine that. Focus on like, what is it you're doing right now? It ties back, and it ties back strongly. When I say that, we do Zumba. I threw myself in a Zumba class. I have no rhythm at all. I was awkward, like very awkward. But I did it. Why? Because I have a vision of We Do Zumba. We have a whole dance Zumba, on We Do Transformations we just lost. Like, why are we not using that, right? And if you are, kudos to you, but there's more. We do women's empowerment. I have this huge vision of women empowerment here in Tulsa. I actually just had my first event of We Do Women Empowerment, where we're focusing not only physically, but mentally and spiritually. And I'm trying to tie in all the communities of all the things fitness into one community. We do networking. You guys can go to these events, whatever events they are in your city, figure it out and go set up a table and connect. Love people. Like I said, everyone needs nutrition. It doesn't matter what they do. Go. I'm a believer of God. We do Bible study. Like I want to put together a women's Bible study, which we're actually working on right now, and bringing the community together in that way too, because it's not just body, mind, it's the spirit too. It's all of it. So really what I've been doing is creating a community for all communities that ties back into we do transformations. Literally, it doesn't matter. At my women's empowerment group, I mean, I had walks of all life in this seating. I had 16 people show up to my first one, and not all of them were distributors. And you know, the bigger vision is, what if you had an event like this and 16 people showed up, right? And then the next one you had your distributors, you're like, hey, listen, bring 2 people to this event. Let's show them what they can be a part of. Because the reality is everyone wants to be a part of something, you know? And so if you can imagine yourself having 16 people, inviting 2 people yourself, and then having them bring people, it's just going to grow exponentially over the next 90 days because I'm not stopping one event a month. I'm going to be leading up to 2 events, then ultimately shape up Tulsa. It's all going to tie in together. It's all going to overlay together. Can you guys see it? It's beautiful watching it come together. I also we do clubs. All right. My nutrition club that I have now, I do a lot out of it. I I promote the business the same way that I did with Justin's Nutrition Club. And what I do is when people reach out, or let's say I post for hiring, I bring them in. I sit them down for a evaluation, essentially, into the business. I run all my meetings as businesses. If they want to work in my nutrition club, they're getting a business meeting. Why do they want to be in my club? What do they do for fun? Do they fit are they in alignment with what I'm trying to accomplish? So imagine you have a nutrition club. Okay, someone wants to work there. You sit them down for a business meeting. You go over all the things that you need to. And if they choose to be behind your nutrition club in the bar, they have to be a distributor. Every single person that works my nutrition club is a distributor. And it may be an indirect person that I've come in contact with because they might have reached out to my nutrition club. Hey, are you hiring? Absolutely. Let's set you up for an interview. Set them up. I mean, I have countless distributors that way. I have 2 high school kids that are phenomenal behind the bar. They're literally 15, and they're getting something so amazing by being in the club. And if they don't have the network, well, now they're building a network by being in the nutrition club, right? The great thing that I love about individuals who come in that don't have the full focus on the business, I get to introduce them to the business by offering We Do Transformations off the countertop. The great thing about We Do Transformations off the countertop, everything's laid out for them. It's part of my training methods. I literally have a sign that's up that has all of the bullet points of what We Do Transformations offers whoever's interested in getting a result in 21 days. And then I have a sign up sheet right next to it. So they use specific verbiage such as cup to cart. Hey, don't forget about the $10,000 that we're giving away. And then you're pausing as you're checking them out, right? And they're like, well, what's that? Well, all you got to do is take what's in the cup. We're going to throw it in a cart. I'm going to teach you how to make it at home. And you qualify for this challenge automatically for free. And they're like, no way. So either A, you can sign them up right there and then get the products, build the cart, all of the stuff. Or B, you can get them in an appointment because sometimes clubs are too busy for that, right? So you get their contact information, you set the appointment, you bring them in, and you do a consultation. So when I talk about consultation, I always start them with a shake and a tea. Figure out what they love. Figure out any additional things that they might need. If they want the bare minimum, they get the bare minimum, but it doesn't matter because by day 7, they're signing up as a preferred member and they're adding extra into their cart anyways to activate that account, and then they're automatically qualified into the next challenge. So just think about it. Your clubs are bringing in people all the time, right? And people that don't necessarily want to do the business until they realize that. My newest distributor, she's a girl who goes to OU, and it's crazy because she wants to work at my nutrition club in Tulsa, but she goes to school in Norman, which is like 2 hours away. And so what we did is we signed her up, and she's initially someone who didn't want to recruit until I showed her We Do Transformations. She's like, I literally can do this in my dorm. So I have now a sophomore college girl who's at OU, who's in a place that everyone knows what nutrition clubs are, and she has the tool that she can take to college and utilize to make money. Like, it's just insane what We Do Transformations can offer anybody, including a 15-year-old girl of mine, Juliana. I signed her up because her mom wanted her to work at my club. And so I brought her mom in and I ran a business meeting with her and her mom, and I signed both of them up at the same time. Her mom was like, oh my gosh, I would love to do this with her. So now I have her daughter in a club. Her mom does medical stuff, and now I have both. So it's amazing what can happen when you do the steps required just by having the conversation. Um, you know, take an initiative, even with the people that you don't think want to do this. Literally, I have many high school kids, I have many college students, I have walks of all life. Let me tell you about this crazy thing. After my women's empowerment group, I took a girl that I've been trying to recruit real hard. She's huge in the fitness industry in Tulsa. We went and got our nails done. We got our pedicures, and I was talking to her about the business and everything. She left. Well, the girl doing my nails was like, hey, can I ask you a question? I was like, yeah. She's like, how does your business work? And so we literally had a business meeting while she's painting my toes. And she's like, I've lost like 30 pounds, 35 pounds. And I think this is something I would like to do. Can I do the challenge? And I said, absolutely. She's like, but I also have another question. She's like, people who I do their nails right now, they all ask me, how have I lost weight? Like, did you lose weight? How have you done that? She's like, I really think I can sell this to my clients. So I had a meeting with her today, and we talked about the two options. Either A, she can do We Do Transformations and join the challenge and potentially win $1,000, right? Or B, she could do We Do Transformations as a coach, do Coach's Challenge, and I can teach her how to make an additional $1,000 on top of that. Guess which one she wanted to do? The second one. She wanted to be a We Do Transformations coach because she saw an opportunity to make money. And it literally happened just because I talked about the business with such passion to someone that I wanted to recruit, and I got an additional person. So just think, everywhere you go, there's opportunity. But are you putting yourself in the position for that opportunity? Are you all in? Are you the one getting in the next challenge as soon as it's available? Are you waiting to see if someone's going to get in the challenge? Because I'll tell you right now, when I first started We Do Transformations, I had 15, 20, I think one month I had like 30 challengers. I probably get, I don't know, 2 to 5, maybe 6 sometimes, maybe. And that's because I'm focusing on helping my coaches get challengers. I know how to do all this stuff. My main focus is growing people, you know? So the last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to say this because you're going to have slow movers and you're going to have fast movers. Okay. You're going to have people that want to do this real fast. You're going to have people that might fall off the face of the earth and come back 6 months later. But you got to love whoever it is where they're at. But you got to make sure that if you do love them where they're at, that you show them the vision of where they could be, and always go find more. You have to find more. The reason why I've had the level of success is because, yes, I fall in love with the potential of people. And yes, I get my heart broken time and time again. I've cried over distributors that I thought were going to be amazing. But, not everyone is. And you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You literally have to go find you. And, the people that I've cried about, I know I did what was right. And hopefully I'll forgive whatever. I don't know what you're going through. Hopefully they come back. And if they do, I know I did what's right. Love them where they're at, show them where they could be, and go find more. Always go find more. So just to put an overview over all of this, I was a 9-year-old world team member. I quit. I didn't have systems. I tried everything. I loved the company. I loved the company even when I wasn't in the company. I loved it so much that I was willing to give it a second chance, not knowing that something so incredible like We Do Transformations existed. And when I decided to get back in this company, and I decided to do it with the man who taught me how to build something greater than myself, because essentially that's what I was doing. I came back with him, and he showed me We Do Transformations. and I instantly fell in love. And I've given it my all. And I truly believe in everything that they're doing and that we're doing. We will impact a million lives. But you know what? We'll impact that many more lives if you guys actually take your clients and convert them to distributors so they can impact people too. It's not just what we impact, it's what people impact. All people in all communities. Get out in the community. Do all the things. Get outside your comfort zone. Do you think it was easy for me to get on here and talk about all this? No, it was terrifying. I've been prepping for this forever, it felt like. But I want to do that because I want to share with you guys that it is possible. Wherever you're at, it's possible to move. You just have to do the next thing, the thing that you've been so unwilling to do, the person that you should have talked to, and it just sits in the back of your mind. You have to do the things that are uncomfortable to get to the places that you want to be. And if you think that when you get there, it's going to be easier, it's not. It's a little bit more scarier. But at the same time, it's almost exhilarating because it's now putting you in a better position to lead that much more people and do that many more things. So I hope you guys love everything that I brought. I hope you took notes. And I hope I add value to, everything that you're doing.
Well, that was supposed to be a podcast, but I'll play it. Uh, Listen, guys, I'm gonna add a few things, some notes, and then I've got some questions. We are gonna do some back and forth. If you have questions, putting them in the chat will not help us. They're gonna get lost in the sauce. Put it in the Q&A. All right. First of all, if you watch that call, 9 years versus 9 months, 9 years versus 9 months, 9 years without We Do transformations, 9 years without a system. Here's the one thing she can say, and I know this to be true: she will outwork you because, man, that chick has made me feel lazy many times, and I feel like I outwork most people. She will outwork you. She always outworked everybody. It has nothing to do with that change. She got skills. Those skills didn't change. Skills without a direction doesn't mean anything. Running as fast as you can in place gets you nowhere. Outworking people to get, what was your last challenge, Abigail? Before you got out of the business, how many challenges did you put in your last challenge?
So I did a challenge my last month. I had 37 challengers in that challenge.
37 challengers. And guess what? The month before, she did well too. She didn't know how to turn them into preferred members and how to turn them into distributors because she didn't have a system that did so. She didn't have everything right at her fingertips. So the reality of it is, for some of you guys that are stuck out there, I'm going to say this for you. If you're freaking stuck, use the app, use the system, understand. She talks about God. It's got to be, woo, almost dropped myself there. It's got to be like your business Bible. I'm not trying to get nobody casting stones at me for saying that. I'm not trying to compare it to Jesus. All I'm saying is it's got to be something you follow every day. Here's a couple things you need to know. She alluded to it. If it's in the app, she's gonna go do it. It's hard to keep up with her. She starts a million things and she doesn't complete them. And I'm like, hey, you got to complete this before you move to this. And then what she told me was, no, I don't, because it's a road that keeps growing and a road that keeps going. It's this avenue and this avenue and this avenue. And I'm not completing any of it because it's always under construction. And those avenues all lead back to the expressway called We Do Transformations. And so I sit down and shut up. Anyway, the next thing y'all need to know, Zumba. They put it on the app. The next thing I know, she's in a Zumba class. I'm like, what are you doing? Next thing you know, she's got Zumba people getting in the business tonight as we speak, right before we were getting on the call. Crazy. I made a joke earlier. I said, man, if they put rock climbing on We Do Transformations, she said, you'll find me on the side of a cliff. I'm like, okay, listen, I love that it's all in because the app controls everything. So here's what I want to ask her a question. Everybody feels stuck at one time or another. You get a team, you don't know what to do next. Oh, we think we're great coaches. We think we're going to get some momentum. Things are moving. And then we get stuck. I asked her, what happens when you get stuck? So I'm going to ask you, Abby. Uh, when you're stuck, how does the We Do app help you? Andy.
Okay, so when you're stuck, how does the We Do app help you? So when you're stuck, it helps you. I can't remember what I said.
Everything reverts back to the freaking app.
Yeah, everything goes back to the app, you guys. Get back to what you know. New challengers, new distributors. Every single time, go back to the app, go back to the next challenge, and that is it.
So there was a good example of nerves, you guys. So the We Do app, everything, when your team's stuck. Hey, listen, if we've got no team to work with, great, go back to the app, get some challengers, and let's run them through the conversion process. Preferred member then distributor. If your team is moving slow, hey, you have no distributors to work with, great, let's get some more challengers and convert them. You'll have distributors next month. So it's constantly get back to that, follow the steps on the app, follow the calendar on the app, do everything precisely like it's supposed to be. I have a question for you, Abby. When you're searching pieces, you talk about collecting pieces for your vision. One of the things that I know you said you learned was that I can't do it all by myself, or before you tried to do it all by yourself. And now you realize the power of collecting the pieces to make the vision come true. Like you've got Keisha, who's going to be running the big fit camps. You've got trainers. You've got, I mean, I don't want to say your name all the distributors, but what I'm saying is you've got all these pieces for different things. Where are you looking for these people? When do you talk about We Do, and where do you talk about We Do to find these people?
Okay, so I have an example for that. So when I first got into the business, like I said, I didn't have a network. And so what I did was do a customer, a CAD day, customer appreciation day in my nutrition club. And what I did was invite businesses that were local, that would probably thrive with my customers purchasing them from them and vice versa, right? So I made it a big deal to bring them in. And then when I met someone that had all of the potential in the world to do this, for instance, I have my OG We Do Transformations coach, Nicole. She is She-Hulk. Like she's a bodybuilder, amazing. And she had a fitness apparel brand. And I was like, man, she would be amazing in my business. She has a huge network. She already trains clients. The great thing about We Do Transformations is it provides nutrition and workouts and all of the things that personal trainers honestly can use to benefit their clients when they're not around them. Because if you guys know anything about personal training, the client is with you only for a couple days out of the week, if that. Not only that, um, personal trainers only have so much time. So they can only have so many people in the gym training. So with We Do Transformations, I knew that with a personal trainer, they would have a lot more success and better results because of the workouts and the meal planning, everything provided for when they were not around. So what I did was just look for people that I knew that would be great. How did I even talk about We Do Transformation? Hey, I don't know if this would be perfect for you, but if we could sit down and let me show you what we do, and then you make the decision. And I signed Nicole the same day. She was like, I really like the idea of this. I think I could really benefit from this. Let's do it. And she was one of my first supervisors. And then she also has a downline, Blanca, who's bilingual. Crazy thing about Blanca, y'all want to talk about no excuses? Blanca had all Spanish speaking people. You want to know what I did? I ran those meetings and she just translated those meetings for me, and I ran them for her in English. She translated them into Spanish, and I went and printed off the We Do Transformation stuff in Spanish so they had Spanish in front of them. So when we talk about no excuses, there really are no excuses. I'm willing to have a Spanish speaking meeting and not know a lick of Spanish. I also tried to recruit a guy. I went to a restaurant and he was a busser, and he was from oh my gosh, where was he from? Venezuela. And I was like, hey, come here. And he came over there and I was like, you're such a you're a hard worker. He's like, oh, no English. And I was like, okay. So he got on his phone and I typed in there, translated it. And I said, I have something for you. I think you'd be great at this. And he set up a meeting with me. Unfortunately, things didn't work out with that one, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes and talk about We Do Transformations because I think everybody can benefit from it.
So in case you guys didn't catch that, she talks about it everywhere, with everyone. But anybody that has a characteristic at all that she thinks might fit a piece to her business now or in the future, she is going after it with We Do Transformations, because her belief is with 80 something percent of the people in the country overweight, they need us, as they always have. And with We Do Transformations, that other 10% of people that are in great shape, because that's about what it is, just so you're clear. Guess what? They need us as well, because they probably have a network following them and they can use it to make money. So no matter what, she brings them back, plugs them into We Do Transformations. I hope that you guys are really taking notes. I really appreciate Abigail getting on the call. I appreciate the opportunity for her to say I'm proud is absolutely understating it. And I also know that I won't be the one in the organization getting the calls for to speak anymore. We can see that, which is okay. I'll go and support. But now we're going to do some Q&A before we have the big reveal. We'll do some Q&A. If you got questions for Abigail, then she'll try to keep the answers short and to the point, and get any answers to you guys' questions that you have in the Q&A section. I don't know how to access that. Octavio, Lauren, whoever's on here, you guys may need to help us with that. And then we're going to reveal something that's going to change all of your businesses.
Well, first of all, thank you, Abigail. What a freaking call. Let me tell you, it hyped me up. Like I was like, damn, I'm slacking. Compared to you, we slacking. The things that you have done, and it reminded me of something I heard once. And I heard it from actually I heard it from George, that he heard it from another chairman. And he heard once something like this: a distributor will be there, not do anything until the right tool comes along, and that's when that person will blow up and get to the next level. And this is literally what happened. You've done this before, you did so many things before, nothing worked until you found the right tool, and until you found the tool that you liked. So thank you. I think we're gonna have to start bringing more speakers like that. I think it's time for different speakers, not just press teams, because I know sometimes we think, well, it's a press team. Press team are used to doing this. Press team have all the time of the world. Press team have all this. Even though press teams, they also struggle. They also have to go through regular things in life. But we're gonna start bringing people like you that are there working every day, that have struggle, that are having results, that they're doing it the right way. So I think this is, Justin, I think we learned something. We got to bring speakers like that, bro. Damn.
Yeah. And I think we got so excited about the app. I want to make sure. How many pounds have you lost, Abigail?
Well, my most recent result, I've lost over 20 pounds, and that was because I did the coaches challenge in October. I didn't place top 10, but I did get top 20. So, but
Oh my
look for
God.
the next result because it's coming.
Okay. So Justin, I mean, I know, I don't know if you can explain it really quick. I think the most common question, there's like 7 of them. What is the rolling threes? If you can explain it really simple, if not in the chats, we'll explain it, or we'll have Justin do another call just on that.
Listen, I don't want to take away from this call. This is a We Do Transformation call. Let me make this real simple. Rolling threes is something that's very simple, just recruiting. And believe it or not, I'm glad you're asking about rolling threes, because what Octavio is about to announce to you is the backbone of what we did on rolling threes that shot us to press team in 18 months. If we'd have had We Do Transformations, we'd have done it in like 13 months. But whatever. Point being, the backbone of the ability to do certain things. It's nothing fantastic. I thought I was super cool, came up with rolling threes, and then found out, oh wow, Marquise was rolling tens. So nothing spectacular. It's just something that we refer to as our systematic approach to recruitment and launching. And it's outdated. Why is it outdated? Because We Do Transformations made it outdated. It's not that it doesn't work. It's just that it works better now. Hopefully that explains that, and we can just move on.
Let me see. We can answer like 2 more questions. If you click on the Q&A, Justin, just pick a few questions and then give me like 5 minutes so I can announce the new thing.
If I can find the Q&A, we'll be in business.
Yeah, and the bottom Q&A. Let me see.
Here? Boom. Okay. Huh. This is a great question. It's anonymous though. Are we answering anonymous?
Let's
Doggone it.
do it for this time, but
Okay.
yeah.
Guys, we got to start putting our names on here. Put a
Yeah.
name to a face. All right. Um, one of the great questions is how do you divide your time evenly with all your distributors, Abigail?
How I divide my time is who's like working, who's willing to work. I have very few people that are wanting to put in all the time. And if I don't have anyone putting in time, I'm finding new people. I'm always finding new people. Like I said, I signed one today, and if she's willing to put in the work and do the meetings and all the things, do the system the way that we do, I'm willing to invest all my time into that person. I'm not going to invest my time into someone who's not going to respond, who's unwilling to do what's necessary to set appointments, to do all the things, you know? So how do you divide your time? Who are the ones willing to sacrifice the most, right? I
Yeah,
sacrificed a ton. So
that's great. It's a great answer. And also, if you guys remember, she said, love them where they're at, show them where they can be, and go get someone new. Because if they're stuck where they're at, we don't love that too much, and we don't love putting all our time into that. Show them where they can be and move on. So I love that question. It's a great question. Um, how do you deal with someone that reads the weight loss meal plan and says they don't need 2 shakes a day because it doesn't say so in there? Listen, I'm not going to let Abigail answer that. I'm going to answer that because I was the guy that said I don't need 2 shakes a day. That's stupid. Here's the deal: if they get 1 shake a day and stick to the meal plan, then guess what? You're getting somewhere with them. Get somewhere with them. But if they're only getting a shake, then you know what? Get them a couple other products to supplement the supplementation. We got to make sure we're adding some things in there. Once they fall in love with the flavor, once they fall in love with the result, we'll just add more stuff because that's what we are. We coach, we customize something and coach what they need. So it's a great question, but don't panic over it too much. We don't have to sell huge programs. We have to sell a huge amount of people programs. All right, let's see. How do you prospect people that are more in shape than you, Abigail?
well, it really depends. Are you prospecting someone in the gym? Are you prospecting someone online? Both ways, I would probably go about it the same. If it's online, like I said earlier, I use the scripts. Hey, we're looking for, people like you to do this business. Send them the Jorge video, right? Because Jorge literally goes over all of this stuff. As far as if it's someone that I'm prospecting in person, I mean, you just got to have some grit. You got to make sure that, you go forward with confidence. If it's someone far superior, I mean, don't be afraid of the no. Go for the yes. I think Daniel G talks about going for the yes all the time. If you're going for the yes, you're that much more confident. Just know what you're going to say. If it's for the business, obviously, if they're in more shape than you, I don't know what that looks like. But if it's for the business, you know the tool that we have. So you just got to go up there with confidence. Hey, I have this tool. I think this business would be great for you. Can we set up a time? Or like for instance, Nicole, hey, I don't know if you're keeping your income options open, but I might have something that would be a great fit for you. Do you have time to sit down, or can I send you the 10-minute quick video? You can easily send the Jorge video directly to the person right there and then, and let Jorge do the work for you. So there's lots of ways you can go about it. It's just about your level of confidence approaching that person.
Hey, I want to answer. I saw a response. Where do you find the Jorge video? I know it's in Spanish, but I'm pretty sure I got that one right. Where do you find the Jorge video? Listen, I want to say this because somehow we've lost track of it, coaches. If you're not using WDT Connect, you're missing out on more than half of your strength. So, what I'd love for whoever's on the back end tonight, whoever's in charge tonight, to put in the coaches chat, the current coaches chat, this month's coaches chat, this president's team. Listen, go in. If you haven't bought or paid for, go pay for your stuff. Get registered as a coach. Get ready to blow this thing up. The challenge is coming up for February. You got plenty of time, and go use the WDT Connect. We'll put the link in there because somehow it seems like we've kind of lost the link to get connected and all that stuff. But that is where there's so many tools that take away the skills. All right, one more question.
Yep.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. Boy, I don't know. Somebody got some questions in here. Let's see. Uh, I don't understand some of the questions, guys. I'm not trying to, some of them seem pretty vague to me.
If not, then
Um,
put it in the chats so we can go ahead
sure.
and announce a couple things.
Let's not run out of time on that, guys. I appreciate it. We're in the coaches chats. We're in the press team chats. Also, my last thing, guys. Press teams, get your teams involved in this stuff because uh, let me be very blunt. Press teams, you can grow, no problem. We have a lot of responsibilities that the rest of the people don't know about. Guess what? Abigail's trying to become press team, and you see what she's saying. She went from 30 challengers, 21 challengers, all of this, to now she's got 5 or 6 solid challengers that she can convert, but she's working with all of her coaches. It's the other people that need help working with. Let's get our people involved. Okay, Octavio, these people have been
Okay.
waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting.
So, guys, I know you guys have been waiting for. We made it like a big deal, and before I even announce what it is, and to be honest, it wasn't even supposed to be announced today. It's not fully ready. It'll be ready in I will say from 2 to 3 weeks, probably maybe less. But I saw it today, and
Octavio, hold
yeah.
on. You can't just tell them like that. No,
No, no.
no, you can't just tell them like that. Here's the thing. I want to make sure they understand something. He's going to use the language that's not what Abigail used. But Abigail's language was speaking about this tool he's talking about. Everything she was talking about, I set him down and do this. I set him down and do this. I set him down and do this. He's about to give you that tool that we had to create, and everybody else out there had to create individually their version of it. Well, you're about to get the version of it from We Do Transformations so everybody can have the same tool and the same level playing field. Okay, I'll let you talk now.
And you guys know that when we do something, they do it the right way. And as you guys know, we love coming out with new things. We love coming out with like new tools, new things, and stuff like that. And we realize one thing. Yeah, we're gonna keep coming out with new things. That's you can put that in paper. We're gonna come out with new things. That's a no-brainer. Now we realize that how about we start looking at things that we do as a distributors that are pain points because it's hard or it's a nightmare or it's a pain to do it because it's the old way to do things. And sometimes the old way, it just takes so much time. It's messy. It's not easy duplicatable. So we figure, you know what? Instead of look on creating new things, and we will create new things, how about we look at this and we start fixing those things? And we decided to pick one of the biggest things that I think is one of the biggest pain point. And Justin, I know Justin, he hates it. He hates it because it's a pain point because it's a nightmare to do. And it's a nightmare to duplicate. So we realized, you know what? Let's focus on that. Let's see how we do can make this thing better. Let's see how we do can come up with a better idea, how to make it so much better that everybody's going to use it and it's a no-brainer and it's going to get you business. And that was the whole point. Let's fix this to get you more business and make your life easier. So we decided to focus on wellness profiles. And I know for you guys, probably wellness profile is a pain in the butt because you have the most, and I seen it. I go to freaking nutrition club and I see people taking out like a notebook, writing down the name of the person, the age, the this, the that, blah, 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 and they save it. And then in 30 days, that person comes back and then you have to get a new paper, put it next to it. It's just a nightmare. For me, it was like, what the heck? We're like, what, like, who uses paper anymore? I know some people like paper, but who uses paper anymore? Like, that's not a way to go. So how about we do makes this better? So I saw how it came out. There's a few things that we're still going to change, tweak it and everything. So I don't want you to, whatever you see today, it might change a little bit. But I'm going to show you, bro, I'm so freaking excited. I'm going to show you something that is going to make your life like, what the F is this? So without further ado, let me show you real quick. Guys, this is top secret. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's go. Let's start doing. Let me see if I can do play. Trying to move the. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. I'm not really good with computers either. So I'll try my best. And I know you guys are probably like, come on, do it. Do it. Okay. Do you guys see it? Let me know if you guys see it. You see it? Okay. So we're introducing awareness profile the We Do way. Guys, this is a game changer. Now you're going to have awareness profile and you're going to actually be able to use it with your challengers and prospect. And this is when we decided to do this, we know we have the challenges already. For the most part, we know the numbers and we can have the numbers. But my idea was, okay, what can we use this for prospecting? Why can't we just, maybe find somebody on the streets and let's say, you know what if I can get you your numbers? Let's see how your numbers are. Let's see if you're overweight. Let's see what you need. Let's see what you're missing. And how about you just give me your email? I'll send you an invitation. You download this app. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. And then you just answer a few questions and we'll see your numbers. How easy that be? Imagine you now go on the street and say to a person, hey, sit here with me. Let's get on the scale and let's go ahead and write something in the paper and let's get your numbers. Imagine doing that. No, you don't have time for that. Forget that. So this is the way to go. So now when a person, you send them the invitation, remember, don't look at the pictures. The pictures, we have to change it. We have to make it better. But it's going to ask this person, what are you, male or female? Then it's going to ask for the age. Then it's going to ask for your height. This is in centimeter. I should have put it in feet. And I think this is the Spanish one for some reason. I don't know. And let me move this one out of here. And it's going to ask you, the regular questions. Are you sedentary? Are you light sedentary? Or you actually go and be active? So the more questions that they answer, and it's pretty simple. Okay, let me hide this now. So now you'll see that once they answer the questions, you're going to see their numbers. You're going to see everything from that person. So you're going to be able to keep this in your app. And the app is going to save this for every single person. So every time that person does that again, you still see the one when he first started, and then the next one, and then the next one. So we'll create a profile for that person. And actually, the app will tell you if the person did it. If you send it to a person online, let's say you meet them on Instagram, you send it to them. They actually took, I don't know, an hour or took a day, and then they finally answer the questions and everything. The app will notify you saying, hey, so-and-so did the awareness profile. Make sure you reach out to this person. And now you have all the contacts because they're going to ask him for the phone number, the email. Now you have contact to this person. See, you'll be here. You'll be able to see. If you see here, January, November, June, November, January. So you see, he created profiles all these months. So you'll be able to track their progress. If they're losing weight, if they're not losing weight. Of course, this is if you have it as a challenger or if you don't have him as a challenger, but you'll be able to track everything. Also, from here, technically, they're not challengers. Once they fill this out, they're not challengers. It'll tell you it's a prospect. So you'll be able to see who's your challenger and who's your prospect. It'll say it clearly. So if you have somebody doing the challenge, it'll be a challenger. If that person has not done the challenge, because you have not invited him to a challenge yet, it's going to say prospect. So you have all their info. Now you can collect the same thing Abigail is doing, collecting numbers, collecting info. You have it there. It's we want to give it kind of like the WDT Connect in a sense, but put it in our app to follow up, to do the numbers. And eventually we have more surprises. We can say yet that you're going to be able to do from this app. So you'll be able to see, invite somebody to do a body composition. You're going to put their email and it's going to show, if they download the app, it's going to show their face, their picture, their email. You're going to invite it. It's gonna show up like this in their profile, and they'll be able to say yes or no if they want to do it or not. I mean, if they download the app, they're gonna do it, but just so you guys know. Now you have it. You will have this in your actual screen, home screen. You have wellness profiles. When you click there, you'll be able to see all the profiles you have collected, all the profile you have done. Everything will be at your fingertips, and you'll be able to send messages from there. The same way we do follow up, you'll be able to do it from there. And you see your prospect and your challengers. And if you have people that did challenges, I don't know, 3 months ago, and they haven't done it again, you can just send them, hey, by the way, let's check your numbers. I know you haven't done it. No problem. This is free. Let's do your numbers. Most likely, if they didn't continue the challenge, the numbers are going to be horrible. So what do you think they're going to say? You know what? Maybe it's time for me to do one again. Perfect. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help you. So imagine having this, and you don't have to do this on paper anymore. Let me see. We have another screen. So guys, this is just a tease. Like I was telling you guys, it'll be done in probably 3 weeks. It'll be ready. So I hope you guys liked it. Bro, Justin, tell me, give me some feedback. What do you think?
Well, here's what I think. Can you imagine doing this from a nutrition club? Let's be real. I understand a lot of you guys are social media, but a lot of you guys are working in a nutrition club or have access to a nutrition club. I see Dallas on here. I see people that I know on here that have nutrition clubs and access to nutrition clubs. Can you imagine being able to bring that up instantly in a nutrition club while they're there or when you come back? Can you imagine offering a half off shake and tea to be able to come in and fill this out? We'll do half off all day.
Bro,
And you
look,
guys know this. And you get them in your system. And now you start to work with them. Can you imagine the amount of people that we can bring in to the challenge and then start doing what we're talking about earlier with Abigail? Now we're getting preferred members. Now we're getting distributors. It's almost unimaginable the reach that this gives us. And I know what's coming next also because Octavio's just been solving Herbalife problems now with We Do Transformations. First, he solved the We Do Transformations and challenge problems. And now the beautiful thing is he's solving Herbalife problems with We Do Transformations. I know another thing that's coming that you guys are going to love too. So when this hits and then that hits, what if, oh my gosh, we can get everybody in this and then we don't have to do a minimum order because they see a higher value. There's some things coming.
imagine, guys, having a QR in your nutrition club or having a QR code in your cup. You put it in your cup. Check your numbers for free. Or I don't know. You can get so creative. And now you collected this info from these people because they scan the code, they download the app, and now you can collect this info. So it's
Right.
bro, it's a no-brainer. It's so easy. Forget paper. Forget a notebook with a bunch of. I've seen people with like notebooks full of freaking old like wellness profile. Like, what the heck? Who uses that
That's
anymore?
Abigail.
You lose
That
it.
is Abigail.
So, guys, I hope you guys like this. If you liked it, just put some stuff in the chat. I don't want to keep taking time. It's already 10:09, and we only pay like an hour for the translator. I don't want to we keep going over the time every call. But guys,
We're getting excited.
I figured you guys wanted to see this. I saw it today. I wasn't even supposed to show it, but I was so freaking excited that like, oh hell no, we gotta show this. We gotta show these people. So thank you guys. Thank you, Abigail. You killed it. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see you. What meal team extravaganza? That's
Yes.
coming, right? Oh
Yes.
shit. Woo! Thank you guys. Hope you guys have a good night and see you in the next one.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Bye.